On today's episode, there's rumors going around in Chiefs Kingdom that Damien Williams may make a return to KC for another Super Bowl run. Plus, Kadarius Toney and Toney Hardman can return this week. How much will they play, if at all? And we're going to take our first look at Chiefs versus Texans Week 15. Stick around.
So the rumors going around Kansas City are that Damien Williams might be returning to the Chiefs to maybe make another Super Bowl run, or maybe just hang out on the practice squad, either one. All we know is that he has not been claimed off of waivers yet, and tomorrow at 3, if he's not been claimed, someone can grab him and stick him on the practice squad. Do you think the Chiefs are going to go for that? Think they're going to stick with what we got, Mike?
I kind of think that we're just going to not go for it. I think this is just a rumor. This is more nostalgia from Chiefs Kingdom. We got rid of Damien Williams in the first place, kind of because we was trying to get younger. We've went out and we've kind of got McKinnon. We've got Pacheco coming on. We've still got Rojo. He never gets carries. We just signed Melvin Gordon. Again, Melvin Gordon's not young, so there is a possibility that we could put Damien Williams on the practice squad and maybe keep him there as a reserve just in case the injury bug goes around a little bit. Maybe in case Clyde Edwards-Helaire can't return healthy. Yeah, there's always that possibility. So we never know what Brett Veach is going to do. But if it were up to me and what I think they'll do is I think they'll pass on Damien Williams. And this is just another, Chiefs Kingdom nostalgic moment, just like, bring back Fisher, bring back, all the other ones that we've let go in the past.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's just another Eric Fisher kind of thing. Yeah, there's a soft spot in everyone's heart for Damien Williams because he killed it in the Super Bowl. And we watched the Chiefs win their first Super Bowl in 50 years, and he was a huge part of that. But if we just take a look at what he's done since he left Kansas City after that Super Bowl win, he actually sat out in 2020 because of COVID, and that's kind of what sealed his fate in Kansas City. Then he went on in 2021 to only get 40 carries for 164 yards, and this year, as of right now, he's got 2 carries for 2 yards. So this guy's not been getting much work at all. I don't think he would be any benefit to Kansas City whatsoever. I mean, we have Rojo who can't get snaps. So what makes you think that Damien Williams is going to get in the mix? I just think it's a little nostalgic for Kansas City fans, and they like that name, and there's some love for him, and they just kind of hope to see him back in that Chiefs red. But I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, he's pushing 31 right now, and as a running back, that means you're 65. So I don't see it, man.
Yeah, he's done a lot for Kansas City. I don't think that guy should ever have to buy another drink if he's ever inside of the Jackson County area or any surrounding areas. But yeah, Kansas City owes a lot to Damien Williams. I just don't see him coming back. Like you said, he was on the Falcons for like 6, 7, 8 weeks. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but he couldn't get on the field over Cordarrelle Patterson, who's a former, wide receiver. He couldn't get on the field over Tyler Algier, some of these rookies. And it's like, he's 100% healthy. So if he can't get on the field and he can't contribute in that lowly environment, which is the Atlanta Falcons, I don't see how he comes over here and makes a big splash, especially with the emergence of Isaiah Pacheco. I think that's kind of done it. I think Pacheco's kind of shut the door on a lot of people. That maybe even includes Clyde a little bit. We'll talk about that later.
On another note, Toney Hardman and Kadarius Toney aren't eligible to come back this week. Do you think we're going to see them out on the field getting some playing time, or do you think they're going to play it safe with these two? How do you think it's going to go? It could just be one plays, one don't. In my opinion, I think McCole plays, Kadarius don't, but that's just where I'm at. What do you think?
I think if it were up to me, this may not be popular. I'd probably let them both sit another week. I don't think the Texans are enough of a problem that I would want to rush any of these guys back. On the other hand, if you do need them against Seattle the week after, or then we've got a couple divisional games against the Broncos and Raiders, if you want to ease them back in a little bit, get them back towards game shape, maybe they can come in and take limited snaps, almost like a pitcher on a pitch count. I wouldn't give them no more than 15 to 20 snaps apiece. Just let their legs get back under them. I wouldn't take any unnecessary risk here. I don't think it's needed or warranted versus the Texans. That's not saying that I don't respect the Texans.
Yeah, I know most of the fan base is very impatient on getting Toney Hardman back because they think he's a big reason why the red zone offense has been terrible. And everybody wants to see Kadarius Toney on the field because he showed flashes of, excellence and excitement and, that Tyreek-esque burst and things like that people want to see. So they want Kadarius Toney on the field as well. But I'm with you, man. I think go ahead and sit them both this week, give them the extra rest, get them healthy for the playoff run. But I don't even know if I'd bring them in on the pitch count.
Speaking of returning to action, CEH has not been cleared to play as of now. He should have actually come back before Toney Hardman, but it looks like he's not out there. He's not ready. It's going to take a few more weeks. Steve, is Clyde played his last game in a Chiefs jersey, do you think? Like, do you think with the emergence of Pacheco and McKinnon, to be honest, do you think Clyde's actually going to come back and contribute before this is all said and done?
I want to say that he will be back, just because I know how Andy Reid and everybody seems to like Clyde. But in my head, I feel like this is the team right now. Like I feel like Isaiah Pacheco is that guy. I feel like Jerick McKinnon is that guy. I don't really care to see Clyde back, to be honest. Not that I don't like Clyde, but I just don't feel like he fits in the system. And I feel like right now it feels a lot like it did back in 2018 with Kareem Hunt, where we have that explosive running back and it can be dangerous. And if Andy would just commit to a run a little bit, we could really open some things up. And we could also get him in pass game, and a lot like Kareem Hunt as well. So yeah, in my opinion, yeah, maybe he has. If they're leaning any way like me, if they feel like I do about it, I don't care to see Clyde back.
Well, I'm going to take a different approach. I think he should come back. I think he should play some if he's available, because if we're going to have a long playoff run, which we might have, it depends. You've got to have a lot of backs. You got to have fresh legs. If he can come back healthy and he can come back fine, Clyde was having a decent year when this season started. I don't think he was doing horrible. In the first few weeks, I thought he was actually a pretty good running back. Pacheco just come along. That's basically it. Pacheco came along. Fans have been all over Pacheco since the offseason. We finally seen what he could do, the way he runs, his style. His energy is just, it's contagious. And that's what we wanted to see. But I do think Clyde is a solid running back in this league. Do I think he's a starter and was he worth the first round pick? No way. I think he's a backup style. He's a change of pace guy. He's usually good at catching the ball in the backfield. The last few games we've seen, he actually whiffed on a few of those right before he went on IR. But I think if he's healthy and he can come back and he can contribute, yeah, you put him in the game and you let him do what he can do to help us get a dub. I don't think you sit him just to make a statement.
I'm not like 100% opposed to him coming in and contributing, but I do feel like that we've discussed this week that Isaiah Pacheco is actually being underutilized. And I just don't want someone else in the mix taken away from that. And I kind of feel like if Clyde comes back, you're going to see a lot more Clyde, a lot more Jerick McKinnon, and Pacheco is going to slide back a little bit. And that's the opposite of where I want this offense to go. So that's the only reason I'm leaning towards see you later, Clyde. Good luck somewhere else. Let's move on to another Chief that people probably want to see out of here after this season, and that's Orlando Brown. And the reason why we bring him up is he was the top rated tackle in pass blocking in week 14. He beat out everybody in the league. Lane Johnson, Laramie Tunsil, Trent Williams, all the big names weren't anywhere near Orlando Brown last week. So, Mike, do you think this is a first good stepping stone where he can start, solidifying himself a little bit more and end this season strong to where it would change some people's minds?
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I do believe looking over his last 5 to 6 games, he has had some of his higher PFF grades for the season over the past 5 to 6 weeks. He's yet to string 2 or 3 together, really solid games. So we're going to see if he can build off of it this week. I think he should be able to go out there and dominate the Texans, to be honest. We'll see if it happens. I'd like to see it happen. I believe I like Orlando Brown. I would like to see him stay as a Chief, but the way he's playing this year, and we have defended him a bunch, the way he's playing and everything else, I just don't see him getting that like top tackle money. And I feel like Veach feels very confident in letting him go into this season without that tackle money. And me and you'd even said it. Hey, that may have been a mistake. If Orlando Brown could figure it out, you may have gotten him a little cheaper. But to be honest, he's not, it was put up or shut up, and he's kind of been really quiet. So he's got to get it together here over the next few weeks.
Even if he does, say he has performances like this a lot of the weeks that are left in the season, do you think that changes anything? Do you think that he will have a leg to stand on in contract negotiations? Or do you think it's still going to be you're going to take a lot lesser money than you want for you to be a Chief? What do you think?
I think it could. If he can put together solid performances the rest of the season, we make a Super Bowl run and possibly win a Super Bowl. If he can finish in the top 5 to 6 over the next few games, how much ever it is, yeah, it could change. The upper office and the management in Kansas City may look at that more, but for the average fan, I don't know if our fan base is ever going to come around to Orlando Brown. He could finish the season without letting up another sack, and pretty sure we'd still see everybody seeing, talking about how he's not worth anything. We need to let this guy go. So I don't think there's any pleasing Chiefs Kingdom, but you may be able to please the upper management a little bit. It's not going to be a overwhelming
Right.
thing, though.
That's where I was going with it as well. I know the fan base is never going to come around on Orlando Brown. If he does get a contract, they're going to throw a fit. It's just how it is. But he was also the number 4 run blocker as far as tackles go last week as well. So he had a really good week, and maybe he can build on that. And like I said, finish strong, and we'll see how it goes from there. But let's go ahead and talk about the Texans a little bit, Mike. The Chiefs are playing the Texans this week. We finally get an early game. I think it's only the second one this season. Should be an easy pushover game, but that's what we were saying last week about the Broncos. So, those don't come easy for the Chiefs. So, what are you thinking about this matchup here, man?
Hey, man, we're everybody's Super Bowl. We keep saying it over and over. If these teams have any kind of fight in them whatsoever, and believe me, they're all professionals. They're good football players. They've got to this point in their career, they're good. They always want to come out and prove themselves against the Chiefs, if not for anything more than to put some good film, out so that way they can get paid in the offseason. But with that being said, yeah, the Texans are struggling, man. Their best player to date right now is Dameon Pierce, and the rookie is officially out of this game this week with a high ankle sprain. He's gone. They don't have anybody. It's just one of those things where they're just alternating quarterbacks right now. They're not blocking very well. They're not, now that Dameon Pierce is out, they're probably not going to be able to run very well. I'm pretty sure they're going to have to start Rex Burkhead. Like, remember this guy. And then Mahomes, you got to be able to eat that defense up a little bit. If you look at their number 1 draft pick, which was Kenny Green out of A&M, he's actually not even been graded. I think to this point, he's graded below a 50 right now in PFF, which means they didn't even hit the draft picks, man. I do think they got a steal with Jalen Petrie, the little safety out of Baylor. He's pretty solid. But yeah, I don't think Mahomes will have a problem moving the ball down the field. And this is why we said we should maybe rest these wide receivers again. Should be a big day for our defense. Defense should be able to get it back on track, shut all these people up, all these Spags haters up. I think the defense should come out and do it. Again, if we struggle and look like we did against the Broncos, my God, Spags may have to move out of the city.
Well, I was going to say that actually. I think that this week they are the 32nd ranked offense in the NFL. So they're the last ranked offense. If they were to come out and be able to put up, 28, 35 points on this defense, maybe then it's time to worry a little bit. But I think it's just a little bit premature after this Broncos game. Overall, they're the last team in the league in almost everything. Defense, they're 31st. Offense, they're 32nd. They're 30th in points scored, 26th in points allowed, and the record reflects it. They're 1-11-1. It's a bad year for the Houston Texans. They're trying to put something together, but
Dallas,
last week, that's what I was getting ready to say. But even saying all of that, they came out and put up an effort against Dallas last week that was very respectable. I thought they were going to win there for a minute, and they could have on the last drive. It just didn't work out for them. But yeah, I mean, you can't underestimate any team, or you're going to end up being kind of thrown off like we were last week against the Broncos, because everyone just had it in their head that was going to be a pure blowout. And instead of it being 27-0 and them squeaking back into the game, they thought it was going to be 56-0 or something like that. And that's just not how it goes in the NFL most of the time. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I think it should be a week for us to bounce back. Should be a week for the defense to bounce back and give people a little more confidence in what they're doing. And Mahomes should not have a problem moving the ball. They don't match up good with us, and it should be a breeze, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be a big week for our wide receivers. I think Pacheco's going to have another big week. I'd like to see MVS get on track a little bit. I just seen a thing today where his snap count, actually with Toney Hardman and Kadarius Toney out, his snap count over the past few games have been dwindling rather than going up. So I think that's a problem. I think MVS is tiptoeing that line a little bit, and I'd like to see him get it together. We need MVS more than probably we think we do going forward, because he can stretch the field in the playoffs. So I'd like to see MVS get on track this week again. He's kind of been fading a little bit. That's where I'm at. I think the offense gets back on track. Defense gets back on track. And, I'm not going to throw out scores or nothing this early, but yeah, I think this should be an easy one. If it's not, guys, it may be time to start looking at doing some inner reflection here with Kansas City, and the coaches maybe need to do that as well.
All right, guys, here's a new segment where we're just going to shout out someone that's done something good today. And Mike, go ahead and kick us off, man.
Yeah, man, I'm going to start out with Juju Smith-Schuster. We wanted him to come in during the offseason. We thought he was a good guy. He's proven that. The Juju Foundation did their first thing in Kansas City today, actually. He paid off $10,000 in layaways for over 50 families, Christmas for kids, man. He said he growing up, he knows how the struggle is. So yeah, he paid off $10,000 in layaway so 50 families, children's could have a good Christmas. He did that at a Burlington store in KC. So kind of cool thing, man. And shout out to Juju, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, props to Juju on that. That is amazing. I'm going to give my shout out to Cole DeRoos over at How About Those Chiefs. He has hit 50,000 followers. Oh, everyone knows who we're talking about.
Who?
You know, that bald guy that everybody follows on on YouTube. No, but yeah, shout out to Cole, man. 50,000, that's an amazing feat. The fact that he's done that this fast, and he has worked for it, guys. Don't let that fool you. He puts in a lot of time and a lot of effort into that channel, and he does a good job. So much deserved, and congratulations on that. No pizza this time, but I did tell him on his live chat. I don't know if he saw it, but we got him for some Jack Stack next time we're in his area. So
yeah, he can pay.
All right, Chiefs Kingdom. Hopefully you guys are settling down on the defense a little bit more, and you'll wait until this Texans game to see if you need to hit the panic button. But we did talk about Steve Spagnuolo, his scheme, his player personnel, all that good stuff in this video right here. Make sure to watch that. Click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell. And we'll be back tomorrow with a special guest, Kylie Winfrey from Kingdom Cast. So make sure you tune in for that one, and we'll catch you later, Chiefs Kingdom.
Peace. See you guys.
Aside from my soul.